Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel, and this is an introductory video to the 25 different emotional root causes to 25 different cancer types and their healing gifts. Now, I just felt to do this little introductory video just to give you some context and support around why. If you've found your way here, you've learned a lot of the why through the ways that I've connected with you through other platforms and been able to share with you some insight to what this is all about. But essentially, what I've learned over the years is that we have different patterns collectively to all disease, and that essentially any form of disease or pathogen, like virus, parasite, bacteria, come in because of a resonance that we're holding within us that attracts that vibration to essentially, it's like a messenger that's come into our field, our world, to show us what's inside, to show us, to show us the core of our relationship with connectivity, connection, our relationship with love, our relationship with nature. And when cancer is involved, essentially we've had many invitations from those pathogens, from different experiences of trauma throughout our intergenerational history and landscape that's led us to this very moment now, to inquire what's created this cancer. And it's like this final boarding call to heal intergenerational trauma, but it's also an invitation to discover the gift that's perhaps been bypassed or missed or dismissed through the different manifestations of how this cancer once showed up in our lineage. And so what I've been able to do is use my special method of kinesiology and my gift of intuition, mediumship, and my ability that I've refined over the years to be able to see fields of information, to write about and now share the collective field of energy, the collective field of information. Energy is information. That is showing the healing messages and the repeat pattern of emotional suppression and core beliefs that have attributed to these cancer types. And so I've chosen and felt guided, I guess, for use of better words, to speak into the top 24 cancer types in the world, most commonly diagnosed, and sarcoma cancer, which is a rare cancer. However, it is a childhood cancer as well. So I felt to bring that element in, and also with my personal experiences with supporting my husband through sarcoma cancer we're into our 10th year now. I felt it had a special place in coming into this space. So I felt to talk about that too. With these different cancer types, you might find some correlations of emotional suppression to do with the location of different cancers too. So I've tried to cover from brain to bones, from top to bottom, head to toes, essentially, of the anatomy of different cancers, and how they can present. Because, for example, liver cancer might have a repeat pattern of several different emotions and core beliefs, but also metastasized cancer that's spread to the liver may share a similar relationship, a similar emotional pattern in the anatomy of your emotions. And so you might also find same if the type of cancer you have might be a melanoma, for example, but it's spread to the brain, then I do invite you to look at brain cancer and consider if any of that relates to your experiences over the years or through your lineage. And so not one cancer type is fixed to one location in the body. Different cancer types can move around the body, but they can share the same emotional anatomy. And we've witnessed that through recording the emotions that have come up in sessions with my clients. So I've, over the years, been seeing cancer patients for about 7-8 years now. I have over 4,000 hours of experience in coaching with EFT, emotional trauma release, theta brainwave and quantum healing using sound and meditation practices, 500 hours of yoga teacher training and mindfulness education and clinical mindfulness, and have really researched and studied a lot in as well in somatic release of emotional trauma, and have mapped that over the years. I've also had incredible mentors as well, teachers who have supported me to understand the quantum physics and fields of energy really well. Dr. Benjamin, who's been a doctor for my husband for a really long time, he also very kindly had taken me under his wing for quite some time and sharing his knowledge in physics and how the relationship of patterns and the relationship of emotions meet the conscious level of our cells. And over the years has taught me to be curious and to continue to study this and take it in my own authentic field beyond what we first had learned, which has evolved all the way now to this work. And so I'm really thankful that you made it here. For you to even make it here to witness this part of healing means that you've already done a lot of work to perhaps open the mind and go beyond what's in the conventional model of treating things systemically with like chemo, immunotherapy, radiation, and surgery. You've decided to go a little bit deeper, and I'm really commending you on taking that step. It's daunting when we start to step outside of what's familiar or what we're told. And in no way, shape, or form through this work am I sharing information that is suggestive of a cure. And it is not medical advice. It is purely come through my intuition and my understanding from my own personal experiences and witnessing people healing before my eyes through accessing their psychological layers from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind and beyond. I'm going to share a lot of different videos in this space about that. I'm going to pull context from my manuscript that I've written. So essentially what I've done is consolidated the 25 different cancer types, their root causal emotions based off of a stage 4 diagnosis. Okay, I have tuned in with patients who have died, essentially souls that have passed on, that have healed, and that have the healed messaging to share in their light through that experience, alongside my own connection with Source or God or whatever you want to call it, I just call it God for use of a general term, but I in no way am projecting religious beliefs anywhere. But I am here as a conduit, as a vessel to share light through creation, for you to then feel and allow yourself to tap into what's true for you. It's important, those last words, what's true for you, okay? Remember, I am extracting this information from the collective field of humanity, the collective field of information. And so each individual might have different manifestations of the messages, different resonance, and perhaps at different stages of disease too, not as much emotional suppression. So you might find that 1 out of 4 beliefs might resonate. That, especially at early stages of disease. What I find is that the later stages of disease is where we find a massive accumulation of emotional suppression. And when we start to release emotional suppression, essentially what that's doing is assisting you to de-stress at a systemic level. So as we find acknowledgement, acceptance, love, peace, and integration, we can then start to transform the narratives or the stories in the mind, or the stories in the subconscious, the ones that we might not even know about in our conscious mind, to then create a new reality from now on and start to shift the consciousness of your cells, and where there's incoherence, to a beautiful coherent flow, and creating an optimal environment for your healing. And when I see my clients and different people sharing their experiences from healing their intergenerational trauma, or healing their emotional early childhood trauma or experiences, essentially what I see is it's like it switches off somehow through the mystery. It hasn't been proven in a lab, but it's just through my first-hand experiences. I've seen the aggression of the disease switch off in many cases, and at minimum, people lengthening their lives, and in some cases, even full remission from stage 4 cancers. And so, with an integrative approach and looking at the pillars of health, the different pillars of lifestyle changes, and introducing regenerative health practices alongside, which this is a part, is exploring why on this emotional level can be a massive invitation for transformation, change, and creating an optimal environment for your healing through very small steps and invitations to receive love at cellular level. And so I hope that at minimum you start opening to receive, opening to contemplate what the gift of this experience is for you, which can be a whole new perspective to embody, rather than being in a cycle of fear. You can start to drop into a cycle of self-belief, reclamation, self-reclamation, and love. And I hope that that's what you take away from this experience. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll be sharing a lot of different techniques to support you along the way from what you absorb in this space. Thank you so much. Bye for now. And just by going into the search bar in the Manuscript of Cancer collection, you can then access the type of cancer that you would like to learn about or explore. Okay, thank you. Bye now.